Hey guys, I'm Indy. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the second loaner deck from the Limit 1 Festival, Stargazing Fairies, also known as the Agent Loaner deck. If you haven't seen the review of the first loaner deck, then be sure to check it out. Before I start, if you enjoy this video or find it the least bit helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can fuel my ego. Anyways, let's check it out, shall we? First, let's read the description. Make use of fairy-type monsters effects such as those of the Agent monsters to special summon high-level fairy-type monsters such as Majesty Hyperion. Since you need to pay life points to activate some effects, we recommend maintaining your LP throughout the duel. As the description says, this deck uses the Agent archetype, but also uses the Cupid archetype as well in order to synchro summon, tribute summon, or special summon into powerful boss monsters. This deck is also fairly reliant on having their field spell or continuous spell on the field for certain effects. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and take a look at the deck. In the main deck, there are a total of 20 monsters, 12 spells, and 8 trap cards. In the extra deck, there are 1 fusion, 6 synchro, 4 exceeds, and 4 link monsters. Now, let's look at the cards. The first card we have is Mystical Shine Ball. Next is Cupid Volley, the Agent of Life, Neptune, the Agent of Mystery, Earth, Cupid Serve, Diviner of the Herald, the Agent of Creation, Venus, the Agent of Force, Mars, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, Archfiend Eccentric, Honest, the Agent of Miracles, Jupiter, Cupid Dunk, Victorica, Angel of Bravery, the Agent of Entropy, Uranus, Cupid 4, Dino Wrestler Pancratops, Protecting Spirit Loageith, Master Hyperion, and Majesty Hyperion. Now for spells, we have Dark Hole, Raigeki, Harpy's Feather Duster, Monster Reborn, Pot of Desires, Lightning Storm, the Chorus in the Sky, the Sacred Waters in the Sky, the Sanctuary in the Sky, the Sanctum of Parshath, Scapegoat, and Called by the Grave. Now for trap cards, we have Heavy Storm Duster, Infinite Impermanence, Ice Dragon's Prison, Stained Glass of Light and Dark, Divine Punishment, Rebirth of Parshath, Crackdown, and Fallen Sanctuary. Now in the extra deck we have 1 fusion monster, which is Elder Entity Natis. The synchro monsters we have are Cupid Pitch, the Executor of the Underworld Pluto, Ancient Sacred Wyvern, Avenging Knight Parshath, Angel of Zera, and Master Flare Hyperion. For exceeds monsters we have Herald of Pure Light, Mequipped Engineer, Fairy Cheer Girl, and number 103 Ragna Zero. Now for link monsters we have Hip Hoshiningen, Protector of the Agents, Moon, Celestial Nightlord Parshath, and Tri-Brigade Shrag the Ominous Omen. Now that we've looked at all the cards in the deck, here are the best cards in my opinion. The best main deck monsters are Agent of Mystery Earth, because when it's normal summoned you can add the Agent monster from your deck to your hand, or if the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field you can add 1 Master Hyperion from your deck to your hand, and then you can special summon Master Hyperion onto the field, and then you can synchro summon into Master Flare Hyperion, and that's the main card you want to go into because this is the best boss monster. Next is Diviner of the Herald. For its ability when it's normal summoned or special summoned you can send 1 fairy monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard. This is my favorite, is because you can send Elder Entity Natis to the graveyard and it will allow you to pop a certain target on the field. Next is the Agent of Creation Venus, because it allows you to special summon 1 Mystical Shine Ball, and then you can link summon into Protector of the Agent's Moon, and then you can get 1 Sanctuary in the Sky, or 1 card that mention it, from your deck to the graveyard, or if the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field or in either graveyard, you can add 1 the Agent of Mystery Earth from your deck or graveyard to your hand instead, and then you can use its ability to tribute 1 fairy monster, then target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. Next is Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. For its ability as a hand trap, it allows you to destroy 1 card on the field as long as an effect or monster effect is going to happen. Next we have Archfiend Eccentric. For its ability to pop a spell or trap card on the field if you put it into the Pendulum Zone. Then we have Honest for its ability to let a monster gain the attack of an opponent's monster. Then we have Dino Wrestler Pancratops for its ability to special summon from the hand if you don't control any monsters or your opponent controls more than you do, and for its quick effect that you contribute 1 Dino Wrestler monster and then target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. So it's pretty good to go into on your turn and allows you to end your turn, and then you can pop whatever your opponent brings out. Then we have Protecting Spirit Loageith for its ability that whenever a fairy monster you control's effect is activated, you can special summon it from the hand. Next is Master Hyperion for its ability to be special summoned from the hand, and for its ability to be paired with the tuner and go into Master Flare Hyperion. Then we have Majesty Hyperion for the same reason as Master Hyperion, but this one is a bit better because you can special summon it from the graveyard, so if you have any cards that can send from the deck to the graveyard, then you can send Majesty to the graveyard and then you can special summon it. Now all the spells are really good except for Scapegoat, but let's go ahead and look at the archetype spells. First is the Chorus in the Sky. You can pay 1000 life points and target one fairy monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Then, if Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field or in either graveyard, you can add one of your banished the Sanctuary in the Sky or one of your banished cards that mentions it to your hand. Next is the Sacred Waters in the Sky. This one allows you to activate one Sanctuary in the Sky directly from the deck or add one monster that mentions it from your deck to your hand. Then, if Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field or in either graveyard, you can gain 500 LP each for each Hyperion and the agent monsters you control. Also, if your monster that mentions the Sanctuary in the Sky would be destroyed by battle, you can banish it from your graveyard instead. Then we have Sanctuary in the Sky, which is just the field spell, and we have the Sanctum of Parshath. The card's name becomes Sanctuary in the Sky while on the field or in the graveyard. All fairy monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense, and spells and traps cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, neither player can target them with card effects. Now for traps, the best ones are Infinite Impermanence for its hand trap ability and for its ability to negate, Ice Dragon's Prison to special summon a monster from your opponent's graveyard and negate the effects, Divine Punishment for its ability that when the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field you can basically get a free negate, Rebirth of Parshath for its ability that is similar to Divine Punishment but it has a few more costs associated with it, Crackdown because you can essentially shut down a lot of decks if you can get rid of their starting combo. Speaking of shutting down starting combos, I do have a replay that's coming soon that involves Sky Strikers, so stay tuned. And Fallen Sanctuary is really good because it's also similar to the continuous spell that it changes its name to Sanctuary in the Sky, and you can get a negate of an effect monster with it as well. Now the best monster in the extra deck has to be Master Flare Hyperion because it has high attack and you can use its ability to send one the agent monster or monster that mentions the Sanctuary in the Sky from your hand, deck, or extra deck to the graveyard, and until the end phase this card's name becomes the monster's original name and replace the effect with the monster's original effect. So if you send the Agent of Miracles Jupiter to the graveyard with Master Flare Hyperion's effect, you can then target Master Flare Hyperion with this effect, and it will gain 800 attack and you'll have a 4000 beat stick on the field. Also, it has a quick effect that when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can banish one fairy monster from your hand or graveyard, then target one card on the field and banish it. It's not a negate, but it's good because it banishes certain cards so they can't be used in the graveyard. The next best extra deck card is probably Hip Hoshiningen because of its ability that whenever it is destroyed by card or battle, you can target one light monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So let's say for example you have a Master Hyperion in the graveyard, you can add it to your hand with this ability and then you'll have a 2700 beat stick on the field, and then if you get a tuner then you can go into Master Flare Hyperion. Third best card in the extra deck is Protector of the Agent's Moon for its Link Summon ability that whenever it's Link summoned you can send one the Sanctuary in the Sky or one card that mentions it from your deck to your graveyard, or if Sanctuary in the Sky is already on the field or in the graveyard you can add one the Agents of Mystery Earth from your deck or graveyard to your hand instead, and you can also tribute one fairy monster you control and target one card your opponent controls and destroy them. The last best extra deck monster has to be Celestial Night Lord Parshath because it can be brought out with the trap Rebirth of Parshath. Also it has the ability that you can discard one card and add one Sanctuary in the Sky or one card that lists it in its text from your deck to your hand, or if it's already on the field you can add one fairy monster instead. Also if another fairy monster you control is sent to the graveyard, you can banish one fairy monster from your graveyard and special summon one fairy monster from your hand whose level is higher than the banished monster. So if you had a mystical shine ball on the field and it got destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you could then use this ability to basically just banish it, and then you could summon Majesty Hyperion, Master Hyperion, any of those high level cards. Now that we've gone over all the cards and all the combos I like to do, it's definitely a really strong loaner deck. I'll definitely have to say that this has to be the strongest loaner deck in this event. Overall, I'd have to rate this deck an 8 out of 10. It's not not a 10 out of 10, but it's pretty up there. It's really strong in my opinion. The boss monster, Master Flare Hyperion, has a really good ability. There are a few negates you can get onto the field, but they all really revolve around the field spell or continuous trap or continuous spell. So as long as you can get those on the field, you're basically set. And the only thing you really have to worry about are maybe kaijus, because if they get rid of your Master Flare Hyperion, you can't really get it back into your main deck. And Pot of Desires isn't really good with this deck because everything is banished face down and you can't get them back out, but you get to draw 2 cards, so it's fine. And I really wish they didn't include Scapegoat because these ones are really hard to actually like summon into Shuraig. If you can actually get that off, then you'll be basically set, even though it doesn't really float into anything. But other than that, if this video made you want to use the deck, and if you did use it, let me know down in the comments down below. Anyways, if you liked the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. Take care.